Meghan Markle is essentially known for three things: being a D-list Hollywood actress, marrying Prince Harry, and of course playing the perpetual victim at every opportunity. And today she's getting absolutely slammed for statements she made about a job that she used to have, while saying that she was objectified and thought of more for her beauty than her brains, in a job where she stood there to look hot next to a metal briefcase in Deal or No Deal. Meghan Markle: I was treated like a bimbo, objectified on Deal or No Deal. Now, I'm just gonna put it out there. This is not a job where you're expected to stand up and give a dissertation. This is not a job as some sort of college professor or lecturer or something like that. You are literally there to be a hot woman standing next to a briefcase. What did you expect this job would be? Did you go in there thinking you were going to be the host of Deal or No Deal? Did you go in there thinking you were going to have some other role other than woman who stands there to look hot? But no, once again, Meghan Markle has to try to make herself the victim. Somehow she needs to be so oppressed. A person who married into the royal family finds every opportunity she can to pretend like she's the one who's actually oppressed. Meghan Markle says she was treated like a bimbo and objectified while performing as a briefcase girl on the game show Deal or No Deal. Back in 2006, I had a short stint as a briefcase girl in the US version of the game show, Markle explained during Tuesday's episode of her Archetypes podcast, in which she and Paris Hilton talked about the bimbo stereotype. My experience on this show, which included holding said briefcase on stage, along 25 other women doing the same, for me it was fascinating. I'd studied acting in college. Like a lot of other women standing on stage with me, acting is what I was pursuing. Well, sometimes in acting you have very low-level jobs that are something like this, where you're just on stage to be pretty. Like that's the reality of this situation. There's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing bad about that. Now, if you don't want to do that, I wouldn't recommend doing that for a job. But this is a game show. You're standing there next to a briefcase, and your job is to smile and open the briefcase when asked. It doesn't seem like it's that difficult. Amusingly, the Duchess of Sussex went on to say she was valued specifically for my brain while working as an intern at the US Embassy and riding in a motorcycle with the Secretary of Treasury. There were times when I was on the set of Deal or No Deal, thinking back to my time working as an intern with the embassy in Argentina in Buenos Aires, and being in a motorcade with the Secretary of Treasury, and being valued specifically for my brain. But on Deal or No Deal, I was being valued for something quite the opposite, Markle added. Yeah. No shit. Is this a revelation? Do you think that this is stunning to some people? That you were valued on this show not for your brain or maybe for your speaking talents or something like that, but because of how you looked? Are you that fucking stupid that you feel it's necessary to explain that to people? Maybe that is how dumb you actually are, someone who's supposedly valued for their brain. There was a very cookie cutter idea of precisely what we should look like. It was solely about beauty and not necessarily about brains. Once again, I reiterate, no shit. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But the idea that that's not your expectation for what this would be, you are a fucking joke. Markle went on to say she would never forget how one Deal or No Deal female showrunner who couldn't pronounce her last name would repeatedly shout at her, "Suck it in." I was thankful for the job, but not for how it made me feel, which was not smart. I would end up leaving with this pit in my stomach, knowing I was so much more than what was being objectified on the stage. Then don't do the job. Like, come on. We're not talking about people, we're not talking about like the porn industry or something like this. We're talking about someone who's sitting there on stage in a dress, a very attractive girl, holding a briefcase. And she's getting rightfully fucking destroyed for this when you look at the posts on social media. This is my one sentence summarizing it. You were a hot chick who held a fucking briefcase. What were your expectations going into this job? And you look at this New York Post article, look at the comments. They said, you can stand next to a box to look pretty for a check, Deal or No Deal. She said deal, cashed the check, but now wants to complain. I got wet at a water park. My story. She saw the ride, wanted to go on the ride, knew what the ride entailed, bought the ticket anyway, now complains about it. Typical. Yet she chose to do it. And the shoe fits. It's a pretty good one. So in that game show role, in that outfit, she thought they should treat her as Marie Curie. Yeah, exactly. I feel like they would have put that right in the wanted ad you answered. Like, just over and over. Like, it's the simplest thing to understand for anyone with a brain. Here's a perfect her perfect analogy. In other news, when I was working at McDonald's, people treated me like a service person. I felt miserable. The job was literally opening a briefcase. They weren't looking for the best and brightest. And that's not to say that just because she did that role, she's an idiot or anything like that. It's just to say, like, what do you expect in this role? They're not casting people because of their IQ, because of their speaking skills. They're casting you because you might have a nice smile and a nice look and a nice body. They're casting attractive people. And to sit there and try to play victim and say, I felt like a bimbo and objectified because I took a role that was about standing there and looking pretty. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? But once again, Meghan Markle, it's got to be one of these three things. D-list actress, married into the royal family, or perpetual victim. Today was absolutely perpetual victim Meghan Markle. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.